The Call Beyond the Stars. The war between the United Colonies of Earth and the Zalari Empire had lasted a decade. 10 brutal years of silence, blood, and the cold vacuum of space echoing with death. Medical officer Dr. Elias Voss had served through most of it, patching together shredded Marines and dissecting foreign biology in makeshift labs on asteroid stations. But when peace was declared, shaky, tentative peace, he volunteered for an assignment that few dared to accept: medical envoy to the Zalari homeworld of Zytherion, a molten sapphire-shrouded planet where the air shimmered with exotic radiation and the clouds moved like liquid glass. Elias wasn't a diplomat. He was a healer. But he knew healing didn't stop at body and bone. It included trust, too. The Zalari were a mysterious race. Their bodies were humanoid, but slender, elongated, bioluminescent in places, and veiled in symbiotic fabrics that moved with their will. They spoke through telepathic impressions layered with sound, a language that most humans found unsettling. Their royal family, led by King Vale Kor, ruled with spiritual reverence and scientific brilliance. Elias's first few weeks were quiet. He stayed in the capital dome of Ivale, surrounded by ethereal architecture grown from crystal seeds and watched constantly by regal attendants. But one morning, as a violet storm churned the sky, a royal guard burst into his chamber. "The princess, she is dying. We need your knowledge. Now." Part 2. Daughter of the Empire. Princess Nelia there, the only child of King Vale Kor, lay on a bed of living vines in the royal sanctum, her skin flickering dimly. Elias's heart pounded. She was barely an adult by human standards, perhaps 20, yet her importance was immense. Zalari women were rare. Only 1 in 1,000 births. Her death would be seen not just as a tragedy, but as a divine omen. Zalari medics, draped in metallic veils, hovered helplessly. They explained in clipped, desperate tones that a rare infection, Archwythan syndrome, known to affect the royal bloodline, had taken root in her nervous system. Their treatments failed because the virus mutated beyond their biological coding protocols. Elias scanned her. The pathogen glowed like a storm behind her eyes, and her temperature had dropped to lethal levels for Zalari physiology. He saw something they missed. The virus behaved like an Earth-based neurological parasite, curable if attacked with specific enzymes found in certain Terran medications. "She needs immediate cryosuspension to slow neural degradation," Elias said, already prepping a biogel tank. "Then I'll try to synthesize an antiviral cocktail. It'll be risky." The room fell silent. One Zalari elder hissed in contempt. "You will experiment on the heir of Vale Kor?" But the king, tall, motionless, spoke through the silent weight of presence. "Do it. If she dies, let her die with a chance." Elias worked for 3 sleepless days. He ran simulations, adjusted protein chains, even used his own blood to simulate potential cross-species reactions. In the end, he injected the serum into her spinal line and watched. For hours nothing happened. An impulse. Her skin brightened. Her body warmed. She opened her eyes and looked straight at him. Part 3. The Shift. Princess Nelia recovered slowly, but her mind remained sharp. She requested Elias at her bedside daily, curious not just about her recovery, but about him. "You are unlike the others. You are not afraid of us." "I've seen too much to fear what I don't understand," Elias replied. She smiled, and it was like light blooming behind a waterfall. Over the weeks, they spoke of Earth and Zytherion, war and peace, art and music. Nelia had never seen an ocean. Elias had never touched living stone architecture. Despite their differences, a strange bond formed. Respect first, then friendship, then something neither could quite name. One night, As translucent moons cast light over the crystalline palace, she asked, "Why did you save me? Risk your life, your career, for an enemy?" Elias leaned back in the vine chair, eyes tired but sincere. "Because life matters. And because, in that moment, you weren't a princess or a Zalari. You were just someone who needed help." There was silence between them. Then she whispered, "Then let me help you in return." Part 4. The Reward. 3 days later, Elias was summoned to the Grand Assembly Hall, where the royal family met with all foreign dignitaries. It was the first time humans had been invited. He walked in, unaware of what awaited. Before him stood King Veilcor, surrounded by Zalari High Lords. Beside him, Nelia shimmered in ceremonial garb, glowing like a star. "Dr. Elias Voss," the king said, voice deep and resonant. "You saved my daughter and perhaps our future. No words nor gifts could repay this debt. But my daughter has made a request, one I have never granted to any being not of our kind." The hall hushed. "She has chosen to bond." Elias blinked. "Bond?" Nelia stepped forward. "It is a sacred pact, a joining of minds and hearts, rare even among Zalari. We do not bond lightly. But I choose you." Gasps echoed from the nobles. The implications were massive. A bond wasn't just a marriage. It was a neural sharing, a merging of thought, memory, and emotion across species. "You saved my life," Nelia said gently. "Now let me show you what that life means." Part 5. Shared Mind, Shared Future. The bonding ceremony was held in a sky sanctum, high above the glowing cities of Zytherion. Elias stood beside Nelia on a platform of floating crystal, his mind open, heart pounding. When their palms touched, the universe exploded. Images flooded him, her childhood memories, feelings of starlight, sorrow of solitude, awe of his strange human laughter. He saw how lonely she had been, how heavy the burden of royalty felt. She saw his past, war zones, regrets, small joys like coffee and old vinyl music. Their minds danced, layered and lit, forming bridges of empathy. And in that moment, species didn't matter. Borders fell away. When the connection faded, Elias stood, gasping. Nelia smiled. "Now you carry part of me, and I of you." The king spoke once more. "Henceforth let it be known, Dr. Elias Voss, human, is consort to the heir, bearer of the sacred bond. One of us." The galaxy took notice. Part 6. Ripples across the stars. The union of Elias and Nelia sent shockwaves. Old hatreds began to crumble. Treaties once thought impossible were redrafted. Shared medical knowledge between the two species blossomed. Diseases that had killed thousands on both sides were eradicated within months. Elias didn't seek power. He remained a medic, now helping both Zalari and human patients. But he became a symbol, living proof that understanding was stronger than fear. Together, he and Nelia visited Earth's oceans, and she wept at the sight of whales. He walked barefoot on Zytherion's glowing cliffs, where she showed him her people's ancestral songs written in light. And when they stood beneath twin moons years later, Elias whispered, "This all began because I didn't see an alien princess. I saw someone in pain." She replied, "And I saw someone who cared." Epilogue. The unexpected gift. Many asked what Elias received for saving the princess. Wealth. Title. Immortality. None of those. His reward was connection, real, rare, and powerful. The merging of two souls once separated by war. The greatest reward wasn't what he received. It was what they built together.